Shri maathrey, namaha. With the divine blessings of our Mother Divine Lalita Mahatri Sundari and Father Divine Lord Mahadeva, we are making an effort to understand the very powerful Sri Chakram and taking the help of Muthu Swamy Dikshitar and his Kamalamba Nava Kritis. We are trying to understand the secrets of the Sri Chakra, which essentially is there in all of our human bodies, and that which is closest to us is the one that is least understood by us. What do I mean? You can't look at your face unless you take help of a mirror. To look at what is within, you need a mirror called Antar Sadhana or Antarmukhatvam, the journey inwards. And that journey inwards is the toughest journey. You can go to the space exploration, like many of the new ventures are exploring. You can go to Saturn, you can go to Mars, you can go to other planets and come back. But going within is the toughest journey that not many or very few can achieve. Not because it's impossible, but it takes persistent, diligent efforts over a period of time. In the sixth Kriti, composed in the Ragam Punnaga Varali, Muthu Swamy Dikshitar starts with Kamalambikaya Stava Bhaktoham Shankaraya Srikaraya Sangeeta Rasikaya Shree. O Mother Kamalambika, Kamalambikaya Stava Bhaktoham, I am your devotee. Shankaraya Srikaraya, you are the auspiciousness of Shiva. You are Srikaraya, the one who blesses everyone with auspiciousness and only Mangalatvam. Sangeeta Rasikaya. Sangeeta Rasikaya is you have an ear for music. What is music? When infants are trying to say certain words when they are very young, in between 1 to 2, and they keep speaking out some meaningless words which sounds exactly like music to the mother and father. Similarly, when we are making efforts to reach the feet of the divine parents and in our inward journey, all the mantras, all the sadhanas, all the bijaksharas that we chant are essentially become the music and the nectar to mother. That's what essentially this means. Sangeeta Rasikaya Shree, again auspiciousness. Shankaraya Srikaraya Shree, these are different grades of auspiciousness. Shankara is the one who gives us all the wealth, all the pleasures, internal and external, including peace and a lot of prosperity. Srikaraya is no matter how much one has, if he or she doesn't have satisfaction with what they have, they are described as Daridras in Veda because they don't have satisfaction. The one most important attribute that is blessed by mother as Srikaraya. And Sangeeta Rasikaya Shree. This Shree essentially says, introduces us to the truest of the wealth, which is the divine within. The next few lines go as Sumara Ikshu Kodanda Pashankushapana. For those of you who actually chant Lalita Sahasranamam, you probably would have noticed Sumasa is essentially the flower. Suma is flower. Ikshu Kodanda is the sugarcane bow that Mother Goddess Lalita holds in her lower left hand. Pasham Kusha, the gourd and the hunter. Pasha plus Ankusha Pana. These are the 4 things that Mother is holding in her 4 hands. Ati Maduratara Vanya, Sarvanya Kalyani. Ati Maduratara Vanya is the one who has very sweet voice. Sarvanya, the one who knows everything. Kalyanya is the one who does everything for auspiciousness. Even killing Mahishasura was out of mercy because he was going way above the limits that are defined. So he had to be brought to an end. Ramaniya Punnaga Varali. This composition is composed to the ragam Punnaga Varali. Punnaga is a plant which essentially is called in Sanskrit as Naga Champa, and there are a lot of honeybees that are going around this Punnaga plant. Ramaniya Punnaga Varali Vijita Venya Shree. So the honeybees, which are very dark black in color, are being defeated by Venya Shree, are being defeated by your hair that is even darker. In Saundarlahari Shlokam, we have Duno Dudvantam Nasturita Daltendi Varavanam Ganastigdaka Chikura Nikurambam Tavashive, which says even thinking of the dark hair of Mother Divine helps us win over the ignorance which constantly clouds our consciousness, as the dark clouds would cover the blue clear skies. The next few lines go as Dasa Kalatmaka Vahini Sarvarupa Prakasha Antardasa Sarvarakshakara Chakreshwarya. It basically talks about that Antardasa Sarvarakshakara Chakram, which protects, and the 10 airs that we talked about. Dasa Kalatmaka Vahini, the Pancha Gyanendriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, which essentially are helping us stay safe and protected by choosing to engage them wisely and the right way. When you choose to invest your Gyanendriyas in things that will give you peace, things that will give you gratitude, you will be filled with positivity. Similarly, if you choose to invest your Gyanendriyas and Karmendriyas in the wrong places of pleasure and enjoyment, obviously the health will be eroded and disease will start taking over the ease of the body. Tridashadi Nuta Kachavarga Dvaya Maya Sarvagnadadi. Tridashadi. 3 dasha is 3 plus 3 into 10 is 30. All Tridasadi is essentially the one which are in the number 30 are all the gods essentially are in the age of 30. Nuta Kachavarga Dvaya is Kachavarga is Ka and Cha. Basically the mother goddesses Bijaksharas they start with Ka and Cha. So they are Kachavarga Dvaya, means the dual pair starting with Ka and Cha are the ones that are used to pray to you. And Maya Sarvagnanadi, you have the knowledge of everything, the past, the present and the future. Dasa Shakti Sameta Malini Chakreshwarya. All the Dasha Shaktis that we discussed in the previous episode are in this chakram, and they are being ruled by the Malini Devi in this Chakreshwaram. Tridasa Vimsada Varna Garbini Kundalinya Dasamudra Samaradita Kaulinya. Tridasa, again Tridasa Vandita Varna Garbhini is the one who can be prayed to. Tridasa is 30. Vimsad Varna essentially is 20 letters. 30 plus 20 in the Sanskrit, according to Shiva Sutras, there are 42 alphabets, and then Panini added another 8, making it 50. So all the 50 can be used to pray to you. Everything is a rupam of you. Therefore, they are called aksharas. Tridasa Vimsad Varna Garbini Kundalnya. So you kept all these aksharas in your womb, and by praying to you with these aksharas, I can reach to the Kundalini in me, which is also below the womb. Womb essentially means here below the navel, and below the Swadhisthana Chakram is where the Kundalini resides, in the Muladharam. Dasa Mudra Samaradita Kaulinya. Mudra essentially means talking in silence. Dasa Mudras are the 10 mudras that are shown. Dasa Mudra are done and shown to communicate with the divine in the silent. Samaradita Kaulinya, in the Kaulini or the Kundalini Yoga, the Samudras are shown to you in order to pray to you. Dasaradi Dasa Dasaradadi Nuta Guru Guha Janaka Shiva Bodhinya. The king Dasarada and others they all prayed to you. In fact, we discussed in Tridashi, Rama actually prays to Lalita, where it says Lakshmanagraja Pujita. So Dasarada and others from that time have been doing puja to you. Guru Guha Janaka Shiva Bodhinya. Here Guru Guha means Subramanya. Janaka Subramanya explained to his father the Ardham of Pranavam. When one starts making an effort to understand the inward journey, he or she will be able to explain it even to those who have given birth to him or her. Because Subramanya, once he started going inward and got the understanding of that Omkaram or Pranav Swarupam, he explained it to his father. Father is Guru Dakshinamurti, the teacher of teachers. Not because his father doesn't know, but the son became capable enough to explain it to the father also, to show how capable and enlightened the son has become because of the path he has taken inward, which led to his own mother and the cosmos mother Jagadamba. Dasakarana Vritti Marichi Nigarbha Yoginya Shree. By doing this, by engaging our sensory organs, Karbendriyas, Gyanendriyas, and the 10 Vayus or the pranas that we discussed, by engaging them inward, by engaging them moderately, we will be able to reach out to those Nigarbha Yoginis. The Nigarbha Yoginis are the 10 Yoginis in this chakram. And once we reach them, there is only auspiciousness because they will help us take forward, they will steer our vehicle ahead to Mother's feet in our journey inward. This is a brief attempt at the 6th Kriti of Muthu Swamy Dikshitar in the ragam Punnaga Varali. Essentially, this ragam says, or the reason Muthu Swamy Dikshitar chose this ragam is essentially to ensure that darkness and the ignorance which gathers, like all the bees gather around the nectar of the flowers. Flowers, nectar are essentially external distractions, and the bees gather for this external distraction, which they keep gathering, and somebody comes and takes that honeycomb to extract the honey by smoking all the bees away. Similarly, whatever we accrue over years of material wealth will one day go to our next generation or whoever are our nominees and whoever are going to benefit with whatever material wealth we accrue. But only that wealth, the wisdom of the soul, the Aham Spurana, the who am I knowledge is something that we will be able to carry from this life to another before we reach our moksha state and become one with that Parabrahma, and therefore realize our Advaita Ananda Sthiti. And this can be blessed by that auspicious mother. Therefore, the closing alphabet is Shree, Nigarbha Yoginya Shree. They are all within you latent. Just start looking within and you will have your dialogue with the divine very actively and engaged. Remember, silence is when the most intense conversations happen within. Stay blessed. Spread the bliss around. Shri Maathrey, namaha.